Why was the crypto market down today? Now, this was a question that was floating around Twitter all over today. There was a lot of questions. Why was the market so volatile? I mean, if you just look at the market conditions, you'll come to realize that not just Dogecoin. I mean, if you just look at the last 48 hours, it's extremely volatile. It went from about 24 cents all the way down to 21 cents. And now you can see that it's slowly making a recovery back to the top. And it's not just Dogecoin. Even if you look at Bitcoin, it was actually more volatile because in the last 48 hours it topped off at 107,000, fell down to 102, and it was able to make a recovery. Now, the market was super volatile. This means the traders were getting liquidated left, right, center. At the same time, there were a lot of big firms which were waiting for a dip and they were ready to buy. Keep in mind, there were two tensions which caused this. First of all, if you just pay attention to this, first of all, China and US chip fight heats up again. This caused crypto market to have a little bit of a panic sell because you guys know crypto is seen as a tech investment. At the same time, the market is likely to assume that this tariff policy will short-live, but they assume that the trade war with China will end soon may be misguided, and that's why the uncertainty caused the market to have a panic sell. But there was too many ETF purchases. There was just too many whales that were waiting for the dip, so they decided to buy in, and that's why the market was able to recover so quickly. On the other end, JPMORGAN CEO says, I am not a big fan of Bitcoin, and in under 24 hours, 4 trillion asset manager JPMorgan to allow clients to buy Bitcoin. Yeah, that's crazy. That's all I'm going to say. And at the same time, analysts on Dogecoin, no way I would skip this trade. The chart signals a run to 45 cents just around the corner. Now, before we get into the full details, if you guys are here for the first time, you want to stay up to date with everything to do with the Dogecoin market and the entire crypto market, scroll down, tap the red subscribe button, and especially turn on your notification so you can stay up to date with the latest and the greatest news first. And while there, slap a like on the video. Let's go for a like off 37. We've been smashing every single one, so I really appreciate you guys, legends. Now, let's look at the Bitcoin chart just to give you an idea. Now, the two scenarios which I told you about, that's exactly what happened. I mean, easiest way to see is if you just look at the open interest. If I refresh this, you'll come to realize that the open interest is actually growing really quickly. Just a couple of weeks ago, we were sitting close to 24 billion, while now it's at 33 billion. And on the other end, if you look at the long to the short ratio, well, the short traders are trying extremely hard to push the market down. So those two news drop where China and US, they literally just came to some sort of conclusion in Switzerland, and after that the trade war was starting to slow down, and then China decided to hit back, and that's why the market decided to pull back like this. And the easiest way to see it is the geopolitical tensions surrounding the semiconductors often ripple through the entire tech sector, as cryptocurrencies are seen as high-risk tech investments. As a result, when the market grew anxious about the chip supply, the investors may have pulled their money out of crypto, and that's exactly what happened over here. And you can see that the short traders were ready for a dip. So there was a little dip from long-term holders, and then a lot of long positions were liquidated while the short traders were trying to take profit. Now, if you look at the liquidations, it will give you perspective: nearly 40 million for the long traders and 31 million for the short traders. On the other end, if you look at Dogecoin, the long to the short ratio is still in favor of long traders, sitting close to 71%. Overall, what did this tell you? Well, in simple terms, if you want to anticipate what's going to happen in the coming time, well, this is a clear indication that the market is still in a very strong sentiment of a bullish, and there is a very strong chance that we will be breaking the all-time high if we're able to recover so quickly. And if we do break over all-time high, what's going to happen? We're going to go into an exploration point, and 116,000 is going to be the first stop before there is any sort of resistance that will be matched. Another thing that's important is this: Bitcoin is currently trading in overbought territory according to the daily RSI, a potential signal for a short-term caution. Now, this was posted after that we received this pullback. Now you can see that this recovery now gives us a little bit more layby to actually be able to climb to newer highs without worrying about an oversold or overbought zone. Miners sold over 2,400 Bitcoin just in the last 24 hours, valued at $250 million, while President Trump says Russia wants to do a large-scale trade deal with the US. Now, personally, when it comes to Trump, now I'm slowly starting to question some of his statements, because there have been countries which have come out and publicly said that we have not had any sort of conversation with Trump relating to this. And Senator Bill says crypto stablecoin issuers will be the largest holders of US treasuries in the world. And that's big, because you guys need to understand the stablecoins are getting a lot of attention these days. And that's why JPMorgan is trying to, have signals that shift as bank will allow clients to purchase off Bitcoin. Keep in mind, JPMorgan has a lot of money. 4 trillion is quite a lot of money that can be flowing into the crypto market. Just to give you an idea, right now, the Bitcoin market cap is at 2 trillion, and 4 trillion would give it a 3x just from one entity. That should give you an idea. This move highlights the growing acceptance of digital asset among traditional financial institutes, despite the ongoing criticism from some sectors. I mean, that's good, because the US SEC is now making it so the banks don't have to report to them all the time. So that's obviously going to give them a lot more freedom to be able to do bigger things in the future. And at the same time, the US Senate officially passes the cloture vote for Genius Act crypto stable bill. Now, this is huge, because the stable bill is going to be the one that all of us are waiting for, because we want some sort of clarity in terms of the regulations that will be placed on stablecoins. And Senate advances the stablecoin bill and vote to redo. And that should give you perspective that this is definitely happening and not very far. While Bitcoin ETFs surpass 40 billion in cumulative inflow. The inflow of ETF was the reason why the initial pump for Bitcoin even started. And the initial pump I'm talking about is somewhere here, where we actually jump all the way from close to 84,000 to all the way to 95,000. From there was a lot of whales which were very excited to see the market being more active again, and they decided to just leap of faith into the market head first. And MiniPay launches a global stablecoin wallet for iOS users. Now, it's really interesting, because this closes the financial gap with stablecoins, and this gives people much easier way to be able to spend their money when they're in a different location, and especially even stable coins which can be relating to crypto. And stablecoin like Tether threatened by tougher rules for Russia's 10 billion digital assets market. Now, Russia is stricter rules is a big statement, because you need to understand that Bank of Russia has been trying extremely hard to stay away from foreign digital asset, but when it comes to crypto, they have been very accepting. So I personally feel like this wouldn't affect it as much. And Dogecoin falls by 6% as long liquidations cross 12 million. Is 20 cents next? And currently it does not look like it, because the market is making a recovery, and so is Dogecoin. If Dogecoin is able to climb to 25 cents and able to consolidate around that zone, it should be completely okay, and we will be seeing another rally. Other than that, I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. Everything I said today is not financial advice. Do your own research. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you soon.